to our existing trail systems. Number 8 is to explore opportunities for performing art space, and like Robin was saying, to encourage that kind of thing. Number 9, provide better maintenance and management for fields and recreation spaces. And number 10 is to access and maintain publicly owned open space and management of trails. And with that, with all those goals, we have a whole list of what each goal and each committee should be addressing themselves. So it's all in that report. We broke it down.
Where are those, are the 10 goals in here, Carol?
Yes, it's
Oh,
all
okay.
in there, yeah. It's,
I was
should
trying
all
to
be
follow
in there.
along, but I couldn't
It
find.
should be in the back.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And that's about it. I mean, if you have any questions, I've gone through the whole report. My committee has, we've all made edits. We've all, like I said, we've been looking at this for a long time. And we go through it all the time anyway. I should know Sturbridge inside out. I've looked at so many maps, but there's still a lot to learn. So anyway, we've been very fortunate, and we have some beautiful properties. And I think, the town is really enjoying them. Hope you support it, and we just, like I said, all it is encouraging the process to go forward, so we just can complete it by August. But if you have any questions or any edits, please just, you can write them up, leave them with the planning board. Janae will take it. Jean's on vacation this week, but Janae will take care of it. And Jean's
I can't believe this is so excellent. It's so detailed. I look
I know.
forward to
It's
being
beautiful.
able
We
to
have
read
beautiful
it.
pictures.
Review it with more.
And Janae's working on, it's online too, so even with the maps, which is great, because you can blow them up and actually see them. Because they're difficult to see in that size. And, there's a lot of information on it. We had that photo contest, and we got so many beautiful pictures, so it just burst those. So it should be a pretty plan. Yeah.
And this will help us with grants, when we have something like this in place, it really
Absolutely.
helps us.
It's a
This was 10 years.
requirement.
The last time we did this was 10 years ago, our last
It
open
was
space plan.
2018.
Yeah.
And then we did it in 2005.
Okay, that wasn't quite
And we
10.
did it in
Okay.
2005. The first time, it only lasted 5 years. We had people coloring in 2000 in the back room of the town hall, just with colored pencils. That's how we did the maps, because we didn't have the tools that we have.
But you were here in 2018 then, only 7 years ago.
I was here since 2000.
No, I mean before, no, I know that, you've been here
Yeah.
a very long time. I'm just thinking, I didn't think it was 10 years since we saw it, because
No,
I
it was
remember sitting
2018.
here.
Yeah.
Still
But I'm
feels like
coming
2 or
back,
3
because
years
we're
ago.
going to be telling you all the
Time goes really fast.
I know,
It's
yeah.
been 7 years.
But we're going to come back after it's complete, and
Right.
then and say to each board about how you can help us.
And they did a great job getting public input, as you mentioned, the
Yeah, we
surveys
did.
and
We tried,
public
yeah.
interaction and meeting, open.
Rec had a special meeting too.
Yeah.
Because Lauren was a big help. She defined all the properties,
Yes.
and Becky had done some of that too, the previous conservation agent. And Janae is really doing a nice job formatting it. And Jean's worked really hard.
So it's been a
Yeah.
huge
No, they
effort.
always do
Yeah.
a fantastic
Yep.
job.
We are so fortunate to have Jean. I can't tell you, because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So that's it. Do you have any questions?
Not yet, I have to review this.
Yeah.
Oh, looks great.
Thank you.
You need a motion tonight, though, to move
Yes.
We
forward
do
with the letter of
need a
Yes.
support?
sign from, that's what Jean asked.
Okay.
I got marching orders from Jean, so.
All right, I'm going to make a motion that we support, give a letter of support or whatever is appropriate for the Town of Sturbridge Open Space and Recreation Plan 2025 to 2035 as presented by Chair Carol Goodwin.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Beautiful. Thank you
Thank you
all.
so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Good seeing you.
Goodbye.
Next up, we have action item B, consideration and possible action on the hiring of Michelle Durkee as the Veteran Service Officer.
So, hello. So, Michelle, she's actually on vacation this week, but you all had been introduced to her resume when she became on as interim.
Yep.
We did interview, we had a couple of applicants. She was the most qualified. She is fully qualified to do our VA work as well, which is new. We did not have that in the past. They're required to work 20 hours in some capacity. Our position is only 10. She works in multiple communities, so she's able to fulfill that. She's already become familiar with our seniors. She will have established hours at the senior center, and then will also use whatever remaining time she has for events and whatever else she needs to be involved with, or going to a veterans dinner at the senior center and trying to recruit. She also, one of the things that we asked is that she work a lot on outreach. She understands that we have the Veterans Assistance Fund, for example, and we have not had as much outreach as we need to have on that. She is adamant about reaching out, utilizing those funds, and working as best as she can with all of our veterans. So I didn't worry too much that she couldn't be here tonight because she was in the interim capacity, and I just wanted to put her forward for the board's approval.
Sounds good. Do we have any questions from the board? or-
No, I think since we approved her as the interim, I think it's a no-brainer, so I'll make a motion to approve the hiring of Michelle Durkee as the Veterans Service Officer.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
I mean, normally it is, I agree, because she was our interim, so it's different, but normally it's good when they can come forward, even for the people, for the audience who are like watching, you know, it's nice for them to meet.
I believe she came.
Yeah, she did, that's why I said
Yes.
this is different,
Okay,
she came as the interim,
Yeah,
but I'm
I
saying,
would've been worried
in
she
the
was
absence
back.
of that,
Yes.
it's good that they come.
One of our problems was I didn't want to delay because it has to get changed over with the state officially. Because she was listed as an interim, she did not have full access to all the resources. Mike's name was still on things. So that's why I wanted with the July 1st date, I didn't want to hold it up any longer. I can ask her to come to another meeting though, to introduce herself to the public, absolutely. It's more of a status change tonight than anything.
Right.
But we can certainly have her come and, do a formal introduction to you all.
All right. Action item C, consideration and possible action on the appointing of Cameron Courtney to full-time firefighter paramedic effective July 8th, 2025. We're on to the fun stuff, right?
Yeah, this is good stuff.
It's the good stuff. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Chief, you want to?
So tonight I have the privilege of bringing before you several individuals who are going to be considered for appointment. Cameron's first. He's currently a part-time employee. He was appointed on May 21st, 2024, so just over a year ago. He's a nationally registered EMT, and this past June 25th, he graduated from the Massachusetts Fire Academy Recruit Training Program in Springfield. He's certified to the level of Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2. He's looking forward to attending paramedic school, and he's already enrolled in a class for beginning in September. So he's ready to go. He will be, as long as you appoint him tonight, his appointment will be effective tomorrow, and his pay rate will be consistent with the provisions of Article 7 of the agreement between the town of Sturbridge and the Teamsters Local 170. That is in effect now.
Fantastic.
And I think he's ready to answer questions. He is going to work tomorrow. He's going to be on duty at 7 a.m. tomorrow, yes.
So no celebrating tonight.
What program are you enrolled in?
EMT Academy, Chicopee.
And that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's a fairly accelerated program, correct?
About 1 year.
Really?
Yeah.
So in 1 year, you'll be a paramedic, is that right?
About a year to a year and a half. It's all like, what holds you up is like the ride time and the clinicals.
The practical side.
Yeah, the hands-on stuff, yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hopefully you don't, get too much experience here with that, right? Because,
We have been fortunate in the unfortunate sense that our call volume is so high. We have been fortunate in that we're getting the calls that we need fairly quickly, yes. Yes.
Do we have any other questions from the board? or- All right, hearing that, do we have a motion?
I will happily approve the appointing of Cameron Courtney to full-time firefighter paramedic effective July 8th, 2025.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
second.
We have a motion, second, all those in favor? Congratulations. Next up, we have consideration and possible action on the appointing of Ovidio Ticklou to part-time firefighter paramedic effective July 8th, 2025. I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly.
What we do, how do you do it?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
With your permission, I'll present all three of these candidates to you at the same time.
Absolutely. You want me to read the 3 action items to make it for the record?
Please.
So next, consideration and possible action on the appointing of Kayla Hurley to on-call firefighter effective July 8th, 2025, and consideration and possible action on the appointing of Jason Monroe to on-call firefighter effective July 8th, 2025.
And
Wesley.
Wesley.
And consideration and possible action on the appointing of Wesley Peterson to on-call firefighter effective July 20th, 2025.
Yes, so Overdue is a Sturbridge resident who's been in the fire service since 2007. He's certified to the level of firefighter 1 and firefighter 2, and he's also a nationally registered paramedic. In addition, he holds a BS in computer science and numerous other certifications, including fire officer 1 and 2, fire safety officer, EMS instructor, ACLS instructor, and PALS instructor. So I'm looking forward to him being a big asset for us in the coming days. So he will also, I'll get to the appointment after I read everybody's. Kayla has served 4 years in the United States Navy. She's been in the fire service since 2001. She's certified to the level of firefighter 1 and firefighter 2, and has recently completed an EMT course and passed her national registry examination. Jason is a Holland resident with several years of experience in the fire service. He looks forward to attending the Massachusetts Fire Academy and becoming certified to the level of firefighter 1 and firefighter 2. Wesley could not be with us tonight. His family took a well-deserved vacation. He was heartbroken about not being here, but I guaranteed him it wouldn't affect your decision. He graduated from Tantascwa in June of 2025. He was a student in our inaugural Introduction to the Fire Service program at Tantascwa and enjoyed it so much he took the class again in his senior year. This past school year, he served as an intern with our department, spending much of his time with fire prevention, in fire prevention with Lieutenant Ash. He's already registered to take an EMT class this coming fall and anticipating attending the Massachusetts Fire Academy. The reason his appointment is delayed is he does not turn 18 until July 20th. So his appointment will be effective July 21st. All of these individuals, upon appointment, will receive a rate of pay consistent with the provisions of Article 7 of the agreement between the Town of Sturbridge and the Teamsters Local 170.
Do you have any questions from the board? I have none. I just want to say it's really great to see. You know, it's a really nice thing. Mary, do you have any?
No, I don't. How soon do you think your on-call people get called?
To come into work?
Yes.
Well, they're going to go through an onboarding process. Some, because of their certifications, will be quicker than others. But it could take up to 6 months, up to even a year if things don't progress as quickly as we'd like them to. The fact that several of them are certified to the level of firefighter 2 really does expedite the process.
Or we can just step right in.
Yes. Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
Hearing no other questions, do we have a motion?
Can we make one motion to?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Obi Tickler, Kayla Hurley, Jason Monroe, and Wesley Peterson to the on-call firefighter position.
Maybe you want just to add consistent with the rate of pay in the collective bargaining agreement. Right. I mean, normally I don't care, but normally we either have the rate of pay or something in.
I would just say consistent with the collective
Yeah,
bargaining.
you gotta.
Consistent with the collective bargaining agreement.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Congratulations.
I'm excited. Thank you. Hey, congratulations, God bless.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, welcome forward.
That's awesome. That makes me happy. Action item H, consideration and possible action to approve implementation of the down payment assistance program with income limits to comply with HUD guidelines for affordability.
So a few weeks back, you all, yep, make yourself comfortable. Okay. This is April, by the way. I think you all.
Hi, everybody.
She is our housing coordinator and does a phenomenal job for us, by the way.
Thank
If I
you.
could editorialize for a second. And I know Jean would concur. I can speak for Jean comfortably on that one. So a few weeks back, you approved the first of a series of housing trust policies that we were putting forward. This down payment assistance is the second.
It's the second one, second program we're hoping to implement.
Yeah, and so this was designed with the assistance of the Housing Trust, April, Jean, and with our consultant, who helped pull this all together, ensure that it was complying with all the housing laws, and this has been reviewed by attorneys. And the Housing Trust voted unanimously, if I
Yes,
recall,
yeah.
to support this. And this literally assists in down payments. We will have a limited number that we can do with the money that CPA has given us in the trust. I think we figured up to 2 to 3. Is that what we figured per year?
I think that right now we have up to we have 80,000 that was approved for it. So we'll use up to $20,000 as much as we can use, depending on which programs get implemented and how much is needed, because it can be closing costs or a down payment. So it can be up to 20,000.
And so they're they have to per.
And
Yes.
you think you can approve 2 to 3 a year, is that what you said?
Actually 4, maybe.
So, because we have $80,000?
Well, I think it's going to depend on maybe if it's less than the 20, how much we would have if it was just closing, if the closing costs were less, or so somewhere between 3 and 4, I would say.
And
But what is the cap on the amount of money that the CPA?
20,000.
20, okay.
for each. And so it's the trust that put that. It's the CPA just sort of gave the lump sum of money to be allocated throughout these programs. And the trust has sort of broken it down by program how they want to do this. People who identify will have so long if they apply to identify a house. So we give them so long, I don't remember what the time, 6 months to find a house, I think that.
For the down payment one, they would already be kind of past that point.
Right,
They
so,
would be
okay, so
at
that's
the
it,
point
so
of
they're
finding a home,
pre-qualified.
having already been pre-qualified. And
Pre-qualification from a bank?
they'd have a
For
mortgage.
their mortgage, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a mortgage commitment.
And then they can, do we have a copy of this application that they're going to fill out?
It
in the
was in
packet?
here, yeah, yes, yeah. And we have adjusted the numbers to the 2025 income limits, the AMI. They're on, when Karen made the packet, it was 2024, that was what was available at the time. So now we do have the newer income limits. So it'll be a zero interest deferred payment loan of up to $20,000 for moderate income applicants.
First come, first served.
First come, first served. They have to match it with at least 1.5% of the purchase price in their own funds. And the funding is in the form of a grant or a forgivable loan that will be provided as a second mortgage and recorded as a subordinate lien by the closing attorney.
I don't know why I can't find it.
It's right in the middle.
It looks like this on the front.
What's on page 5?
Do you want to look at this, mine?
Well, that's all right. I'm sure it's here somewhere, I just didn't see it. I don't think it was in mine. Let me just look at it really quickly, yeah, thank you. Nope, I'm sorry, I do.
Now, will our funding
No, I don't
vary
know.
year by year for this, or is it a set amount that we're gonna?
So we go to CPC each year
Yep.
for funding for the trust.
Yep,
And I think it'll vary depending on what programs the Housing Trust anticipates.
yep.
And then the trust goes to CPC and says, we need this much for the administrative costs, we need this much for whatever programs we might need to use. I think we have Karen as a consultant. As we have programs, we may continue to use her a bit. We extended her contract into this year primarily for this. I think we have a couple of the programs we're still.
I think that we're wrapping up a few other things with her, the 4DBs, but I think her term is kind of coming up. We're hoping to implement them, but like Robin was saying, it's going to, yes, the money is going to be allocated, but for the SHI, for the subsidized housing inventory, the buy down program gives us numbers for that. That's the one that was approved at the last meeting where it's $100,000 down. This one does not increase our SHI numbers. So although we can help more people, we're not going to be adding to the subsidized housing inventory, which is something that would be the goal of the Housing Trust, to have that inventory on record. So that's why the amount can change.
And I think one of the things that where the Housing Trust is strong on is that whatever programs we do, we are trying to ensure that that inventory goes up. And
yeah.
so,
Key importance.
you know, if we're providing some program, that house will have to fall into those categories as best as we can. So we're trying to ensure that we're working on that minimum number that we need for 40B.
How is word getting out about this program?
What we're going to do after we are ready to launch them all is we're going to have a couple forums. It's going to be more like a speed dating for housing is kind of what we're jokingly calling it, but there'll be a lot of a formal session where we'll have people come in, have access to the applications, talk to us, answer questions. We'll have it advertised on several radio stations, churches. We'll put it in churches, social service agencies. Not for this one because it doesn't go on the SHI. It doesn't have to have a affordable housing program plan, but the other one does, and we're going to be advertising them the same way. So that all the advertisements for both of them will be across the board for like the affirmative action housing advertisements. So they'll be everywhere.
Are there other towns that have already done this that we used as a model?
We originally looked at some other.
Was it Brewster?
Brewster.
Yeah, I want to say that it was Brewster, but I've read so many different programs that I don't want to misspeak on this specific one and say which one I read, but many towns have
I know we have
implemented.
looked at Brewster for different things.
Yeah, there were so many implementations of different programs that I'm not sure which one was the one that did it.
April
But
and
yes.
Jean have actually gone to several conferences
Yeah.
and education forums as part of this to bounce ideas around and whatnot. And again, I have to thank
Yeah.
April. This is, she's really come in she came from more the service side, if you will. Of
Social
helping-
worker,
yeah.
yeah.
social
I'm
work.
super excited to implement them.
Yeah.
Really,
So she's been
needed
more on
because
the.
people can't afford, God bless you, to buy real estate, and people really can't afford, sadly, to buy in Sturbridge. I
This
hear
will
it out
help.
more and more because of our taxes, our tax rate, and so if we can offer some assistance.
Well, the town was so forward-thinking, like even before my time, hiring somebody to come in my role, that they're really like so forward-thinking on helping everybody attain housing in Sturbridge and making it available for more firefighters, more nurses, more teachers. So,
Because what qualifies as affording is truly working to middle class. It's,
Yeah.
what we would normally have considered working to middle class people, working people like nurses and firefighters and, so our own people can live right in town. Absolutely. But again, I just want to say April really has grown. She came from that social worker side, which is a very different side of it, and now is in the sort of creating and implementing side
Yes.
of what goes into that. But I also will say that when we have a call or a problem or someone who's in a situation, before in the past, Jean and I would have people come in separately to our offices. We need help. We had something happen. Now, April sort of keeps with her that social worker background and has her whole knowledge of all these resources she had behind her to guide people, separate from the Housing Trust, to guide people who come in with housing issues. And so when people are getting hurt by landlords, whatever the case may be, April knows where to send them throughout the state, so through agencies. So I just want to take a moment while
Thank
I
you
have
so
you guys
much.
captive, and I have April sitting here to embarrass her.
yes. I was so nervous. Now I'm just like, well, I'll just sit back and let everybody say how great I am.
Sorry, I did have it. It was stuck to my other materials because it must be hot, and I just kept flipping past it. So I did have it, Francis. Thank you.
Well, Jean's amazing, and I'm like, oh my God. I mean, she's going to do this so much more eloquently than I would. But here, that's what it is.
You're doing great. So, with that, do we have a motion to approve the implementation of the down payment assistance program.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Do we have a motion, a second? All those in favor?
Great, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the kind
Great
words.
job,
Rob.
April.
Thank you.
Action item I, consideration and possible action on the select board acting as water commissioners to take a vote with no concerns or vote to make a comment to the planning board. Robin, you want to tell us what's going on a little
Yeah,
bit?
so this is just somewhat pro forma, but we have a new building going in on 660 Main. That's on the right-hand side down where Heel was, and we have a Spectrum in the back. Is it the glass company in the back?
Yeah,
Photonics?
fiber optics.
Yeah, and the owners have come to us to build a new building. They're working with Gene, they're working with conservation. Everybody is at this point on board with this project moving forward. They need a tie-in. There does not seem to be a major impact of concern. And so Gene has asked for me to forward this to you for your approval with no concerns, or your recommendations if you have concerns to plan.
So they're gonna get tied into to the town water.
Groundwater, this is groundwater.
Groundwater. I don't
Okay,
know.
so you got, it's All-Star Incentive Marketing, it's Photonics, and then there's Healing. This is building a new building up top in that office.
Up back near Photonics, yeah, there are two buildings already up in the back there, this is a
Yeah.
third.
Now, they don't, because there's town sewer, water that goes up there, right? To those other buildings. So they're gonna do a well up top there?
No,
or
this is just basically, it's a special permit for increased impervious area, but, so they're expanding what's paved.
Oh, all right.
And they just have to have a permit to expand what's paved for groundwater purposes.
Oh,
It's not so much about
yeah.
tying into the water system,
It's
it's groundwater.
stormwater management.
Stormwater
kind of
management.
stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And then our recommendation would go to planning and conservation, and then
Yeah.
it would go through
So
the.
basically, it's you, because you are the water commissioners,
It's paving for stormwater management. It's
Yes.
nothing to do with water supply.
no, I looked before, I did not see anything that indicated water supply.
No, I was just looking at, it just says acting as water commissioners to
Yeah.
take a vote with no concern, and
Yeah,
that
I
doesn't
guess
tell us
apparently-
anything.
Right, yeah, it's probably.
I guess apparently as water commissioners, stormwater falls under that, because that threw me too when I got the thing, and I thought, well, why is it the water commissioners? But I believe because it is stormwater. So it says the bylaw notes that the SPGA may grant required special permit upon finding the proposed use meets existing standards, which
Now,
is the
why does this
expansion.
need a special permit though?
Because increasing the impervious area.
Beyond what we normally would have, because it's a special permit.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a permit.
Yeah, so the project design results in an increase of impervious surface of approximately 54,025.4. This is well below the 70% maximum in the general industrialized zoning district. So it is below the maximum.
Right.
The impact on water quality will be mitigated from increases in the impervious surface by enlarging the existing stormwater basin and improving the functionality of the basin. It actually is going to improve.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be difficult,
I don't
I'm just
know-
trying to
I
understand what
honestly
our role
don't
is.
know why specifically, except that I think when you change impervious area, it requires a special permit. I think it has to do with the fact that it's being changed.
And does this go to conservation too?
Conservation has been involved with this. If any of this impacts the area that's water, there's a little bit of an area there that falls into the conservation bylaw. So conservation is aware of this, and they'll have to vote on anything that impacts that 200-foot buffer. This majority right now is a planning question.
Right.
A site
I mean,
plan.
it's less than the maximum, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and then planning is then, yeah, I mean, then they're gonna do their engineering on their building and their design to meet all of today's stormwater regulations. And it's gonna be an improvement to what the site is.
Yeah, as this phrases it, I think it's just simply the fact that when you change impervious area, you need a special permit.
Yeah, especially in an industrial park. and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any other questions from the
No,
board?
I have no problem with this.
Mary, do you have any other questions?
I don't.
But this still, just
It's-
from my
it's
own head, it's gotta go through planning, and it's
Yeah.
gotta go through conservation.
It's because it's more than 15% paved,
Yeah,
is what trips the special use.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, this will ultimately, because it says that if you had concerns, the concerns would be made to the planning board. So if you have no concerns, what will go back to the planning board is that you have no concerns.
okay.
And I really don't, given the nature of that lot, and the conservation is on it, it's a very small area that actually even falls into that 200-foot buffer zone.
Is it an industrial building that's going up there?
Yes.
40,000 square feet.
Yeah. And there is very likely a tenant planned for it.
Good. All right. All right, if no other questions, do we have a motion? I can make a motion to approve the possible action of no concerns to make a comment to the planning board?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
That's it.
That was very helpful.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how to
Yeah.
word that, so I said, let's just do it.
Yeah. well,
Make a
let's
motion
take
to
this one.
support with no concern.
Support with no concern to the planning board, that sounds better.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, all those in favor? Thank you. All right. Consideration and possible action on approving the new scoreboard at Town Barn. That does not sound like a problem.
No.
This seems like an easy one.
You hold a conservation restriction on that land, therefore you have to approve it. It's just a replacement, but it's bigger, so it just requires you all to say because it's your land.
Where did the funding come from?
Yeah, that's what I was curious.
That scoreboard may have been ARPA, if I recall.
Was it, or was it the private leagues? It wasn't
No, I
private
think it was
leagues.
ARPA funding. It goes back, that was approved a while ago. It's been in process for a
Wait, I
while.
don't remember
Oh,
that.
Betterment. I believe
Okay,
it's
because I was on Opera and
No,
I
think
did
it
not.
was Betterment. It was Betterment.
Right. No, it's nice to
Better.
see recreation
Yes.
getting a little love.
Yes, we are happy about that one.
Is it, will it do anything more than the other one did, or
I think it's just better and nicer technology. I don't know if it's fancier.
when is it getting installed?
That I do not know. It's going through the approval process now, so.
Yeah, would it maybe, because just because, sometimes when we have these meetings, whoever is watching is interested. So, even if somebody from rec would have come or the rec
Yeah, I don't
director,
know.
just to give us a little bit, because then if I have a parent that says, oh, what's going on with the new
I don't know if
scoreboard?
Andrew's memo.
I can say I have a little knowledge other than it's new.
And it's nice to just throw it with.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
easy.
like, you know.
Oh, do you have?
Just because this is the night everybody has to stay late till 7 anyway.
Yeah,
So if Andrew came in,
right.
Yeah, no, his memo did not give reference, nope, his memo did not give a date.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe the next
Yeah.
meeting, just throw a picture. I mean, I think we want to move forward with it. So
Oh,
we're
of
not
course.
holding anything up.
Yeah.
But yeah, a nice picture or something overall would be nice. So we have a motion on action item J.
I'll make a motion to approve the new scoreboard at the town barn.
second.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Good news. Action item K, consideration and possible action on a one-day liquor license for Oakham Brewing Company, July 11, 2025 at Pickleball University, 178C Main Street. Hey,
Hi, how you doing?
good, good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm Melissa LeBlanc. I'm the sales and distribution manager for Oakham Brewing.
Nice, nice, thank you. Do you have any questions regarding that?
This is the first time.
This is the second this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's successful, I think.
Yes, yeah. Yes, Gary had contacted us. They like to have different breweries come in, so they do a paddles and pint night. So that's what we'll be doing on Friday if it gets approved.
Thanks.
Do we have any other questions about it? I mean,
No, I'll make a motion that we approve the one-day liquor license for Oakham Brewing for July 11th, 2025 at Pickleball University. I love it that it's Pickleball University. You're gonna learn how to play. At 178C Main Street, which is the Shaw's building, which is the Shaw's complex, for people wondering.
Second.
we have a motion, a second. All those in favor?
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so much.
coming in tonight.
Of course.
Harry, you should learn how to play pickleball.
I know, I have somebody that's willing to teach me, so now that the race is over that I trained for, like, now I'm gonna, are you a pickleball player? Oh.
You're really great, and then we'll work with you. You go in and let them know that you're interested.
Oh, no, I
they'll
know.
show you the ropes. Yeah,
Yes.
you were there then.
I was there, and I'm
Yeah.
friends with one of the owners, and I know it's very popular, it's very good cardio workout.
Yeah.
It's fun too.
And it's fun, yeah, you'll probably, I don't know if I'm ready to play with you.
Consideration and possible action on common victual license at Rapscallion at Pine Lake RV Resort. They were in a couple months ago about this.
The
and
liquor license.
that was liquor, okay. And common vic, I hope it's going well for them.
What is $2 license?
Food.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Do we have any questions regarding?
No, because when he was in before. when
Yeah, they talked about the
They talked
licenses.
about.
Yeah.
doing
And I think they have to
Yeah.
food and drink, right? You have to have
Yeah, I think-
food
I think if
with
you have
drinking.
alcohol, you have to.
Yes, you have to have food.
Yeah, so,
Really?
Yes.
that's why,
Makes
bars-
sense.
that's why bars went out and,
Yeah.
you know, they had to have.
Yeah.
Because we don't technically have nightclubs, so
Yeah.
even more so. Yeah.
Hearing no other questions, we have a motion on action item L. I'll make a motion to approve the common vic license for Rapscallion at Pine Lake RV Resort 2025.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, all those in favor? Action item M, consideration and possible action on a seasonal liquor license for Rapscallion at Pine Lake RV Resort 2025. They weren't in for that, or?
That's what
gave them.
The liquor license came through a few days ago from the ABCC.
But didn't they already approve
It's had a public hearing. We had a public
Yeah.
hearing a few months ago for the approval to apply for the liquor license, for the seasonal liquor license. He was here. And
Oh, I remember him coming, but I thought we approved it.
Yeah,
And
but-
they sent in the application to ABCC. We just got it back. It takes several months. to get
I never
it.
I never thought we approved more than once. I thought we approved.
Should, just to be safe, should we approve this, or?
Yeah, just reapprove it.
Just so there's no-
Sign the license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually we approve and then it goes to the
Yeah.
state and then that's it, then we just sign.
Yep.
I
But
think.
just to be safe, why don't?
Because
I'll-
this one's seasonal, though, let's just,
Yeah, I'll make a motion, to approve the seasonal liquor license for Rapscallion at Pine Lake RV Resort 2025.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, all those in favor? Action item N, consideration and possible action on a change of manager application filed by the OSJL Spirits LLC DBA Ocean State Job Lot from Michael Comiolo to Christine Boland.
So they sent everything in, but
They sent everything in and they said, once you make your decision, send it back to you. It came from the corporate office, it doesn't come from the local office.
Okay.
So,
And the chief had no problems with anything, or?
no, they actually signed it.
Okay. Do we have any
I don't have any questions.
questions from the
The chief
board?
already signed it and then it came to us.
Right.
If the chief signed it, then I'm a happy camper. Mary, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
No, okay. Hearing none, do we have a motion on action item N?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion, a second, all those in favor? Action item O, consideration of possible action on the resignation of Bruce Butcher, production coordinator, effective August 1st, 2025. And I was upset, but I'm happy that he's retiring, but we are certainly gonna miss Bruce. He's done a great job for the town of
he's just a great part of
Sturbridge.
the town.
He is, and he's always very
And he's
nice.
doing well. He's slowly but sure doing well.
Good.
Oh, that's good.
Good. So, I'll make a motion, on the resignation of Bruce Butcher, production coordinator, effective August 1st, 2025. And can we write a letter of thank you from the board
Yes.
to Bruce for all he's done? So,
Health and happiness to
Yep.
him and his family.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
Second.
we have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Action item P, consideration of possible action on the reappointment of Diane Clark to the Council on Aging with an expiration date of June 29th, 2028. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a reappointment. Do you have any questions? I will make a motion to approve the action on the reappointment of Diane Clark to the Council on Aging with an expiration date of June 29th, 2028. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Action item Q, consideration and possible action on the reappointment of Emily Clam to the Sturbridge Chorus Association with an expiration date on June 30th, 2028. We have any questions, and if not, a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the reappointment of Emily Clam to the Sturbridge Tourist Association with an expiration date of June 30th, 2020.
And I will second that. All those in favor? Action item R, consideration and possible action on the reappointment of Dina Sexton to the Open Space Committee for a term to expire June 30th, 2026. So they're 1 year
Open space, that one term she might be filling another position that vacated.
Okay, all right.
Extension of a term.
Great. If we have no questions, do we have a motion on action item R?
So moved.
So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Action item S, consideration of possible action on the reappointment of Joanne Chamberlain to the Personnel Committee for a term to expire July 4th, 2028. Any questions? If not, I will make a motion to approve the reappointment of Joanne Chamberlain to the Personnel Committee for a term to expire July 4th, 2028. Do we have a second? Joan, I'm sorry, I'm getting tired now.
It's okay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Action item T, consideration of possible action on the reappointment of Mary Blanchard to the Personnel Committee for a term to expire July 4th, 2028. I think
I
this
don't know,
one.
that's a shady job.
Yeah, we could, you know. Any questions? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the reappointment of Mary Blanchard to the Personnel Committee for a term to expire July 4th, 2028.
Second.
All those in favor? Consideration and possible action on the reappointment of Eli Garrett to the Trails Committee for a term to expire June 29th, 2028. Any questions? If not, a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the reappointment of Eli Garrett to the Trails Committee for a term to expire June 29th, 2028.
And I will second that. All those in favor? Action item V, consideration and possible action accepting the resignation of David Fortier from the Sturbridge Police Department effective July 10th, 2025.
We'd like to thank him for his service to our community.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yep.
For a very long time, he's been with
Yes.
us, and I see he's accepted a position with a neighboring community. Do we know where? I mean, it's a disappointment to lose him.
Yeah, David's done a great job today.
I worked many years with him, and he was always wonderful.
Yep. Hearing
Do we
no,
take exit interviews? Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
yep, so, thank you to David for all of his service. Do we have a motion on his resignation?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of David Fortier from the Sturbridge Police Department effective July 10th, 2025, with my deepest regrets.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. And all those in favor? Next up, old business. Mary Lou, do we have any old?
Well, it might be old because I forgot to say something in the beginning. I wanted to say that Janae did a fabulous, fabulous job at the Blue Sox game singing national anthem.
I wish I couldn't make it after all, and I felt so badly that I couldn't. But
I got goosebumps.
Oh,
She did. She's got a beautiful voice, and I just want to recognize her for that.
That's great.
Too bad we can't put it up. We have to get her permission, but if it was recorded, we could put it up.
I think we all have videos of it somewhere.
Might be nice. I don't know if she'd want that. She probably, maybe she wouldn't, but you know, for those of
Does have
us
a lovely
to be able to hear.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Maybe we'll have her come in and sing it sometime. Really put her on the spot.
Yeah.
The 250th. Maybe we should have her.
Yeah.
Mary Lou, maybe we should
I
have
wanted
her
to
to the
go.
250th.
Oh,
Maybe that's what should kick off the
That's a good
250th season. Maybe a board meeting in January, February.
Yeah, that's
Or
a
even
great
sing it,
idea.
or I love that, or sing it before the parade starts.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
Maybe earlier.
Yeah.
I will talk to her tomorrow.
I think she just got volunteered.
Yeah.
I'll make
She's
her an
like,
offer.
she's gonna be ready to move on for her day job.
I'll make her an offer she can't refuse.
Nice.
There you go.
Wow.
Great. Old business, Mary, I know we want to talk about the betterment.
I do.
Yes.
Before we get to that, though, I just wanted to ask, I know the owner of Yankee Spirits made a gracious offer to kind of spearhead a cleanup of those.
Yep.
Did you touch base with
We did
them?
speak after, and I just need to coordinate with her again. But
Okay, so
with the
nothing-
4th of July, everything kind
No,
of.
I get it, so nothing's happened
No,
since
but
that
she and I
point.
have spoken.
Okay,
We had a nice long conversation.
nice. And then, want me to bring up all my old business?
Let's do it, yes.
All right, so the beautification. So, I mean, I guess I'll just be very direct. I was hoping for more than what we see. I don't know why we can't, and maybe the board will or will not support this, but I've said this before, I don't know why we can't approach the state, just like private businesses do, and formally request that we adopt those triangles. Sturbridge Pottery has done it, Tassie Oil has done it, they've got their signs up, and people, can adopt portions of highways, it just means that they clean it and maintain it. So I don't know why we can't undergo that formal process instead of, well, I don't know if, the state will let us do this, because they have just as much landscaping as we do. And I know, well, I'm going to be presumptuous, but I can't imagine that they've earmarked the same amount of money that we've earmarked for landscaping. And we really don't have anything more than what they have. We've got a couple of trees now and some flowers. It's great that we're decorating those pots, but we've always had, maybe we have a couple more now, but we've always had money through the Betterment Committee for some beautification, and we've always had some flower pots, and that's always traditionally been paid for by beautification. The ARPA money was supposed to do something more, have a little bit more of a wow effect, and I just don't think we're there.
So I have talked, okay.
Yeah, so just to give you a little backstory, Robin, Mary and I have been pushing this for probably 7 or 8 years now, and we got in a car with Jeff and actually drove down there.
Right.
I remember, and then COVID hit and everything kind of got mixed up. So I feel ignorant to the fact that I haven't even seen the new plantings.
They just did all the welcome to Sturbridge.
Yeah, so what I would propose is, if the board is willing, which I am willing, if we could reach out to the state within the next 2 weeks, try to get an answer on if we can adopt those islands from them. And then if we could actually do a site visit down there with Robin and really take a good look at this and really get something going in the works that we're thinking
So
about.
if I could give you a little background, I already did reach the state. We can adopt, I didn't ask specifically about those triangles. I asked about other areas, and we can put into adopt any area we want.
Yeah, we wanted the triangles right along.
Yeah,
That's what we wanted to adopt.
If you could also check with the fire department and the police department and make sure that they're gonna have enough room to get a cruiser and an ambulance around, because I know that was some of the concern that was
Years
pushed
ago.
back years ago, was if we do plantings there, an ambulance is gonna get around traffic.
So they will restrict anything hard,
Yeah.
barrels or anything, on any of that without special permitting from DOT. So they,
We
the
don't want
sign
barrels.
required permitting, but the flower plantings, the flower barrels, like we added one right along 131, in front of the post office of that mulch, there's a flower barrel there and all the new mulch. Frankly, those are permission, not forgiveness, not permission things, because we just did them.
Yeah, but
Along the
Robin-
state road.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but we've already adopted, we were focused on those triangles, adopting those triangles for like perennials, because I specifically remember saying, will something be blooming at all times? So when I'm not talking barrels, I was talking like a couple of rhododendron bushes in the spring, maybe a red berry bush in the winter. That's what we had in mind, and I thought that's what the focus of
Well, and I
ARPA
think
was.
they're still
It
going
wasn't
in.
barrels.
Yeah, they're still going in though.
Yeah, so I guess my second request would be, I would personally think if we can get some kind of a breakdown
Yes.
of what exactly is going to be planted and the amount of money that they have actually spent on the plantings.
Right.
One rhododendron bush, $150, labor, $250.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, because we don't have that right now, and I know ARPA earmarked $25,000.
It's a long time.
And I
It's
do
a lot of
yeah.
plantings, and I just don't see
And I
it.
have emailed Joe for that. Joe will get that. Joe Cohen will get that to me.
Right, but now we're talking, and I'm just gonna express my displeasure, because now we're in the middle of July, and usually plantings are done in the spring, and they're done in the fall, when it's optimal weather conditions. In the heat of the summer, you'll find most landscapers, they don't advise planting a lot because it's hot, and that's why people do their landscaping in the spring. And we earmarked this money back in the winter time with ARPA. And so now we're up to the middle of July. I'm disappointed. And so if we can have the breakdown of what has been planted, what they're going to plant, spring, summer, fall, and the breakdown of where, because we haven't seen anything. And I was even hoping, like, I thought the landscaper would have given us a rough draft, like, look, this is where this is gonna go. This is
I did
where
have
this-
some rough drawings, yes.
Yeah, I mean, something. We have nothing.
Yeah, could we throw on as an action item for the next, not that we need to vote on it, but just that it's there and that we can provide discussion, because I agree, I do agree. I would like to see those develop
Yep.
more.
Me too. I'd like to see a nice holly bush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
holiday.
yeah,
And I know the
yeah.
board had concerns with trees, but like, the state does work with different towns. Well, I went to Taste of Shrewsbury. It's a great thing that Worcester puts on Shrewsbury Street. For a wristband, it's $25. You get a rubber wristband at one of the breweries. You go up about a mile and down the other mile. Via 111, all these businesses participate, and they have like a sample of something, and you go from one place to another. And I bring this up because I took pictures, so maybe when we have our next meeting, now Route 9, I believe, is a state highway. And Worcester's the second biggest city in New England, right after Boston. So that road is at least as busy as our Route 20, or maybe it's the same. It's 2 lanes on one side in Worcester and 2 lanes on the other. And in their median strip, and I know we're not doing this, but I'm just showing that the state does work with towns. Their entire median strip is mulched with vegetation and many trees. Now, I will say in some areas, it is a wider median strip than what we have in Route 20, but we have certain sections that kind of bow, that kind of like, I don't know, curve outward, where it is as wide as what theirs is. And that entire median strip has landscaping, mini trees, and it's got 4 lanes of massive traffic. That's not, I think Route 9 is state. And I can't imagine that the Mass DOT paid for all that. I'm assuming the city of Worcester did and they maintain it. I know we could look into it. But I'm just showing that the state does work with communities, even on highways, for landscaping and beautification efforts, because it's happening in Worcester. Next time anybody's at Via or any of those Worcester restaurants, please look at that median strip. It is entirely covered with flowers. It's absolutely beautiful. And, you know, I've had comments from people that you come into Sturbridge and we do not have curb appeal. You know, we don't have the curb appeal that we could and that we are trying to give money to have. You know, I mean, we just don't. We come into town, there's nothing in terms of landscaping.
Also, too, Sturbridge is the only community that I know where you get off our exit and you are hit with a state police barracks, a state barn, everything. Like, the state just takes over what you see first. So I would appreciate if they work with us a little bit more than what they have. So if maybe you could get on the phone, and then in our next meeting, Mary Lou, do you have anything to comment on this? And
I agree.
Yeah, and maybe even ask Worcester how they managed to finagle
Yeah.
all that landscaping on Shrewsbury Street, because it is very, very attractive.
Yeah, Hopkinton's another one that I think is
Beautiful.
a state road, and they've got
It's beautiful.
a bunch of plantings that go right down when you get up.
We have to find out though too, if Route 9 is in fact a state road.
Well, it goes all the way,
Yeah, certain portions sometimes go back and forth between state and city, like.
I mean, it goes all the way to.
Like portions of Southbridge are state, and then portions of Southbridge are 131 and not.
Yeah.
So that.
Right, it's possible.
Yeah, but I can find out, that's easy enough to find out.
Mary, do we have any other old?
No, that's it.
No, I appreciate you bringing it
Yeah.
up, and I know Robin will jump right on it. New business, Mary Lou, do we have any?
No, I don't.
No, I have no new. Mary Dowling?
I don't.
Correspondence, do we have any correspondence?
I would see
I did forward you an email today from the people at Channel 25 thanking Terry for helping out with that business, interviews. They are coming August 8th, I think the 8th for Zip Trip. If any of you are interested in being interviewed for it, please let me know.
Oh, cool, thank you. And we have a
I
request for
just
another.
whispered to our chair if I had one more old business. Have you had that meeting with the superintendent about accessibility?
August 4th.
Oh,
It's scheduled.
nice. That's
August 4th or 5th for facilities.
About
School
maybe opening
facilities.
up.
Oh, so that's
Yes,
good.
it is scheduled for the
Oh.
first, it's the first week of August. They
It
will-
was,
yeah.
it was requested that,
Yeah.
that approach be
Yeah.
taken
First.
as opposed to
Yes.
us at this point going to the, school committee.
So I can
to have
report
it to-
back
Yeah.
at the staff level first.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right, you weren't here for that
It is
discussion.
scheduled.
Thank you, that's good.
Yeah.
Next up, approval of minutes, November 6th, 2023, and June 16th, 2025. Take a look, do we have a quorum to be able to,
As long as two of us. You were absent for one of them, but,
You were absent for that one.
for the June 16th one? I'm
and
assuming?
November 6th. But that's okay, because we were there, and we have a majority of a quorum.
Good,
So
okay,
we can vote
perfect.
on it. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, yep, we're good.
I don't have anything else with that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the November 6, 2023 selectmen meetings.
Second.
All those in favor? And then an abstention, so 201 for the November 6th. And the June 16th, 2025, same thing.
Anything, Mary Lou? Are you good?
I'm good with it.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the selectmen meeting dated 6/16/2025.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, a second, all those in favor? And an abstention, so same thing, 201, thank you. Citizens Forum. How you doing?
Just visiting.
We're just visiting, good for you. Yeah.
I was sick and tired of sitting at home watching it on my TV. I thought.
Come on, see us.
No, I
MJ comes and sees me.
Although, doing that though, I can rewind if I miss something.
That's right, you can always call me if you miss it.
Yeah, exactly, so. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn, and I will second that. And all those in favor?